Swear, who was that guy? Like Superman or something? He would not go down. Oh, no you don't. Don't even think about it. Would you get away from that? You're obsessed with that gun cabinet. I do, actually. And with this last pull here, boom! Got him.
I can take it. I can take anything you throw at me, Bats. You can't beat me. I'm actually going to win.
Not this time.
Ready for the next round?
Always.
What?
I'll never let you win. Never.
Batman punch. Joel Schumacher, consider yourself fired.
Dad, thank God. I was so worried.
I'm fine, Barbara. The GCPD finally has control of the asylum.
Finally.
Doctors are treating the injured, but it looks like it'll take some time. All super criminals are back in custody. Quite a mess in there. And the venom-enhanced inmates are returning to normal. Though for some, the process can be quite painful.
All his hair came back.
Dad, how are you doing?
I'll survive. See you tonight, Barbara. Shame about your car. Can I give you a ride?
Thanks, Jim, but I have one on the way.
Get some rest. You deserve it.
Yeah, I do. I saved the entire island by myself. Seriously, you guys did nothing. I did everything. Another job well done. Now to go home for some milk and cookies. What? Alright. So, that was Batman Arkham Asylum. One of my favorite games of 2009. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite games of all time. The best comic book hero video game I've ever played, to be completely honest. I mean, it had everything. It had Batman the way he should be portrayed, faithful to the comics, of course. Also, like, all the major supervillains, Joker being the main villain, like Poison Ivy, Bane, Harley Quinn, and then like some lesser known villains. Of course, they're mostly just mentioned. Hang on. There we go. Anyway, like I was saying, the game is a perfect representation of what a superhero comic book... What's wrong with me? I can't talk. Video game should be. It should be faithful to the source material. And this is why a lot of movie-based video games based off of superheroes don't really work that well. I mean, they should be based off the comics, not the movies. So, the things I liked about it. The combat system, I thought was really good. The free-flow combat made you feel like you were as fast as Batman. You could pull off all the same moves as Batman. However, that being said, there were a couple of problems. It's kind of hard to explain. The combat itself was kind of glitchy at times. Like, sometimes you would press triangle when you needed to counter, but it wouldn't counter. So, yeah, they kind of need to fix that. But from what I'm hearing, they're using an improved free-flow combat system for the next game. So that should be interesting to see how they pull that off. The graphics are incredible. Everything's super detailed, super realistic. The characters, the environments, everything's just detailed right down to the last pixel. The story was great. I mean, it's sort of simple if you look at it. I mean, it's not anything like super out there or complicated, but that's the way it should be. I mean, this isn't like a psychological study or anything that you're like psychologically analyzing all the different characters and stuff. It's a story that's basically Batman saving the day. That's all it is. Let's see, what else did I like? The voice acting was great. They got all the main voice actors from the Batman animated series. They got Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker, which was a big plus. Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn. Not really sure who voiced the other characters. I do know that Steve Blum voiced Killer Croc, so that's interesting. All the different gadgets and stuff that Batman can use was really interesting. The Batarangs, of course, you gotta have those. The Bat Claw, which you can use to pull enemies, pull grates off of walls, then eventually pull weakened walls out of their out of the way so you can get to different things. Detective mode that you could use to scan through walls and see enemies. Explosive gel. It was all very interesting to see different Batman gadgets being used. However, there were a couple I think that could have been excluded from the game. Like I said, the remote control Batarang is pretty much useless just unless you really feel like using it, which I barely ever do. It's kind of hard to control. It's kind of glitchy at times. There's something I'm thinking I'm supposed to remember that I want to tell you guys, but I can't really remember what. Oh well, it'll come to me. Anyway, best comic book superhero video game I've ever played. It had everything. It had action, it had suspense, it had comedy at certain points, but it wasn't so much that it just made you like facepalm or anything and how stupid some of the jokes were. I gotta give props to Mark Hamill on how much voice acting he had to do for this game. I mean, he must have had to record like hours upon hours upon hours of dialogue for this game, because you hear him talking every 5 minutes. And it's most of the time it's usually stuff that he hasn't already said. So I gotta give him props for that. And it's so unfortunate that in the next game, Batman Arkham City, that it's going to be the last time he voices the Joker, because he's, in my opinion, he is the voice of the Joker. There is no other person who could get the Joker as spot on as Mark Hamill. I mean, the actors who have portrayed Joker over the years have done it pretty well, but in my mind, Mark Hamill is and always will be the quintessential Joker voice. Excuse me, my throat's starting to get dry here. So, anyway, yeah, that's all I really have to say about the game. It's awesome. I definitely recommend picking it up, especially before Arkham City comes out. Help you get up to speed on the story. Even if you've seen all the playthrough here and you already know what's going to happen, the gameplay in itself is still fun enough to where you really ought to play it. That's it. That's what I wanted to mention. The Riddler challenges. That in itself is reason to get the game. Some of them I haven't mentioned already. They're really fun to try and find. At first it's kind of frustrating, but I mean, if you really look at the clues and then just look around for stuff that's sort of sticking out or out of the ordinary, they're usually pretty easy to find, and some of them are really interesting nods to other Batman villains and characters and such. And if you find all the Riddler challenges and you beat them all, at the end you get a very satisfying surprise, trust me. So, there's something at the end of the credits, but I'm not sure exactly if you can just skip this and then see it. Let's see. You can, sweet. Alright. Titan? Oh no, Scarecrow. That's no good. Congratulations, you have unlocked Armor Batsuit, yada yada yada. Anyway, that was Batman Arkham Asylum. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm Tritonus, and I will see you all next time in my next playthrough. Ciao.